Good morning and welcome to Thursday. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. I hope you feel great today. 65 as you're waking up right now, and we'll get to, warm temperatures for kind of this time of year. 86 for that high. We'll do the breakdown. But make note of this. If you got a little bit of a cold nature to yourself, make sure to go find some blankets because come Saturday night, into the 40s we will go. That's a shocker, isn't it? We'll break down the forecast here in just a moment and let you know everything that is going on. If you hadn't had a chance to glance over the page this morning of headlines that are going on, second time this week, a postal worker has been shot while doing their job. The first one was in Memphis. This time it happens in Colorado. If you know how they have mailboxes set up in front of apartment complexes. A United States postal worker was loading mail into those and was shot and killed. Suspect has not been found. Again, that was in Colorado. As you go down through this, also we'll talk about this morning. Neshoba Central High School, a student was arrested for having a gun on campus. That happened earlier in the month. As this just starts breaking there, Neshoba Democrat releasing that information. As we keep going on, Gabby, such a sad situation. She's headed home. The coroner has released her body to the family, and she'll be home and cremated, and they'll have a proper burial for her. And this comes out as we look at this was in Iowa. Republicans gain a seat. They won. Is this going to be leading up to the midterms of what is coming? So Republicans take back one more seat away from the Democrats. We'll watch that closely as we get into those midterm elections. And John Deere's gone on strike. If you were needing a tractor as bad as things already were, that'll really make things worse. Also, coming up this morning, don't forget, Dr. Alan Brown will be joining us. He'll be here to talk about his new book. It's for kids, The Haunted South. It's a children's series that is coming out. Plus, he has a regular book that's going to be about Kentucky that's interesting. Make sure to join us for all that beginning at 8 this morning. I hope you will. A lot of stories, and we'll tell you the latest that's going on. As we begin this. Again, as we said, 65 this morning. Let's go to radar. There are some possibilities of fog this morning from the National Weather Service, and also on radar is what we've got as we switch over to radar this morning to take a look at how we start the day out to the south. Now, all of this area, and we'll look at the National Weather Service where they say fog will happen this morning. It's going to be light fog pretty much south of I-20. When we get near Hattiesburg this morning, we will have a dense fog advisory as you see it there, and that's going to go until 10 o'clock this morning. All this area around Hattiesburg, if you zoom in on this so you can see, if you live in any of this Laurel, Hattiesburg area out to the west near Macomb, it's going to be thick fog in your area this morning. Be prepared for that. As you step across that Bama state line, you go due east of Meridian, you'll find some sitting right here. And this is going to be over at Selma, east of Demopolis, Alabama. Some heavy fog this morning as well. Thunderstorms and things making Georgia got that also. As we go out west, we go to Texas. Some pretty serious weather going on there. We've got a bunch of flash flood warnings happening this morning. This is just north of Victoria, Texas. If you've ever had to go out in that area, all this is here's Corpus Christi, that's due north of there. As you zoom in on this, here's Victoria, and you go through here, Smiley, Texas, those areas. Pretty heavy thunderstorms this morning. So if you're out in that area there at Gonzales, Texas, been there a time or two, it's wet, wet, wet. As we look at the rest of the nation this morning, this is the remnants, is what's left of Pamela. As we look at that as she comes across there. This is where she was last night, and we'll see that. It's going to bring all of this rain here into Texas. Nothing major, no damage, but just rain. And this thunderstorm here just goes pretty much straight up through Arkansas, Missouri, all the way through Illinois. Rain, rain, rain there. A lot of fog on the East Coast. So that's a look at what is happening there. Let's check severe weather and see where storms could be forecasted for today. And we look at this, just level ones everywhere. This is a dark green area there in Indianapolis and those areas there, and also around Oklahoma City. Nothing too serious, so Mississippi, Alabama looks great. Nothing bad there. All right, let's turn our focus to weather this morning and see what the National Weather Service gives us with our highs and lows and, well, what to expect here at Scotty Ray's Weather.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
All right, as we turn to this, today's record high was set back in 1953, a high of 91 degrees. We're nowhere near that We'll get to about 85, 86 today. The low, 1988, it was set with a low record of 34 degrees. That was some kind of cold back in 88. 30 years ago. As we look at today's forecast, partly sunny is what we're going to see on this. And again, these areas, Laurel, Hattiesburg, we'll see the fog in these areas. 85 to 86 here in Meridian as we go up through Philadelphia. Pretty much the same, even through Noxapater, Louisville, up to MSU campus. It'll be about 86 just east of there at Columbus, maybe 87. As we go west, Jackson and Vicksburg, and even in the Mississippi Delta, not a lot of difference from Meridian, just 88 today. As we go south to Brookhaven and Natchez, almost ditto, 85 to 86 for those temperatures, and a little bit more of a risk of rain after you get down to Hattiesburg for today. Now let's go east of Meridian and go into Alabama and just see what's happening there. We look at Tuscaloosa, expecting 86 today. We'll even get that in Livingston, Alabama today. 86. Demopolis, 87 is the high, and we go down to Troy, 86. And, well, up in Hamilton, a little bit cooler there. The further north you go, 84 is what we're looking at there in the Alabama side. A partly cloudy sky, but you're going to have sunshine peeking out for the most part all across the state of Alabama. Nothing bad at all as we look at that. Now, here's the dense fog that is likely to happen this morning. If you live in Clark County, Enterprise, all of this area here, Pachuta, downtown Quitman, you're going to see some fog most likely before 10 a.m. this morning. It always has a tendency around 7:30, 8 o'clock to get pretty thick. Now, as we said, this is where the dense fog advisory is here, but we're still going to get it on the outskirts there, just south of Newton. If you'll look at that, you'll have some of this. And following I-20 through Brandon into Jackson, down to Brookhaven. So fog, don't forget to keep those headlights on low beam so you can see right before this daylight time happens there. But fog, leave a little early. Not worth the hassle there. Give yourself some time there. As we look at the tropics, this is what we've got going on. As we have a 10% chance of this becoming something. Most likely in 2 days, this will fade away and the Atlantic will be clear and the Gulf will be clear. But we still watch this. This is taking a easterly turn. It's going to bring some rain through here. But that's about it. In a couple days, will fade away. So that's great news. I'm glad to see that going way away. As we look here, what is happening over the temperatures? Now, this is a 6 to 10 day outlook here. A little above average down in Florida. We're pretty much right there in that tad above the temperatures normal. Some below temperatures out to the west, above in Washington, as we go up there in Detroit and those areas above average temperatures. But it's not bad for us. Now, this is going to change, as I said, in a couple days. We're not in the normal. We're just going to take a drastic turn toward the cooler weather. And we all like that. Not bad at all. Nothing horrible as we look at that. Here's the forecast. Let's break this down as to what is coming over the next few days. Today, as I said, partly sunny sky. 86 is what we'll get. Tonight, we're down to 67. That's kind of normal where we are this morning, sitting at 65 right now. By tomorrow morning, we do get a rain chance. Now, that's going to come in with a 30% chance of showers. Small chances early. The bigger chance of rain will be after 4 p.m. with a 30% chance. Partly sunny with a high of 87. Tomorrow night is where things start changing. We'll get rain in here beginning on Friday night, most likely before 10 o'clock is what will happen. That will cause this temperature to change. We'll get down to a low of 59 and expect it to be windy. Don't put your clothes on the line because it's going to rain, but it would dry them out if it wasn't raining. But 25-mile-an-hour gust on Friday night. Now, when you get up on Saturday morning, we're getting only a high of 68. That's different. That's 20 degrees difference roughly from where it is today, 68 to 86. That's major change there. And a low of 48 on Saturday night. That's big change there. As we're looking at 67 tonight, 48. As we look at Sunday, only a temperature of 70. So we're going to be below 70 on Saturday, and then Sunday, 70 is all we'll get, with a low of 48 again on Sunday night. Boy. As we go to Monday, we'll start the week off at 72, and by Tuesday, we're still at 76, 77, below 80. That is good. Now, let's go ahead and jump ahead to that final week, well, almost that final week of October as we get ready to go into November. We've got 76 through the 21st, and along about next Friday, a week from tomorrow, it will go back down to the 73 degree and not get above 75 for that following week. So cooler temperatures definitely on the way as we head into this stretch of ending out October and headed toward November. So great news this weekend. You're going to be cool without a doubt. 48 degrees. And if you're cold-natured, I mentioned that in the description, go ahead and drag you out a blanket because you will probably need it Saturday night and Sunday night. Feels good. It's going to be crisp. I can't wait for it, and I hope you'll enjoy all that. Let me say a few good mornings to some folks that are up and stirring today. J. Star Haywood, how are you today? Also, Donna Roseman, up and at 'em. Linda Cord is up. Looking forward to the fall temperature, she said. I've got some mustard greens in the ground. You know, I hadn't done that. I've seen a few people doing it. You're above average there. Lamar Henry is up. Good morning. Tom Sykes, hope you're doing good today as well. I think you married a couple people this week, didn't you? Tom Sykes is one of the preachers in the neighborhood. Does a great job. If you've never seen any of his hush and the rush moments, always good. Also, good morning to Sylvia Stewart. Also, Connie Johns is up. Stephen Wanda McKinnon on the ball this morning, up early getting that. Donnie Page from Philadelphia is up. Lillian Glenn, always good to hear from you. James Sullivan is up. Good morning from APEC. Hope everything's good for y'all there today. Joyce Stamper is up over there. Marion, glad to see you. Charlotte Edwards. Old Man Winter is coming soon, as she says. It is. And again, as we talk about the Farmer's Almanac, whether it's true or not, I've never read it enough to know, and maybe a lot of you keep up with it. But early indications of what that book says keep saying that it's going to be a rough winter. It could be. We had pretty much a mild one last year. Few power outages there at the end, but be prepared for all that. We may be in, Mother Nature keeps giving those signs that it is definitely going to be a cold one. Be ready for it. Could be a little snow involved with that, according to that book. How you feel about that? Snowman would be good for a little while, wouldn't it? Betsy Holly, how are you? Glad to see you're joining us this morning as well. Now, again, as I said, we've got the morning show coming up at 8 o'clock. I hope you'll return. We've got an hour long lined up for you of things that are going on in the area nationally. We'll get into all of that and tell you the headlines that are important to all of us, that shapes us. This is what is so scary as we look at our future in America. If you look at anything, they're telling you now, and when they start mumbling things, is usually it means it's going to be worse. Everything I read keeps telling me inflation is on the way. That equates to your groceries are going to go. You know, as you look at this, they're getting ready to give the biggest raise ever in Social Security ever. Why? Because your dollar keeps sinking and sinking, and the raise that you get is not going to offset what is coming. You need it. Folks on fixed incomes, y'all know what I mean. You need that money. But the inflation of heating bills that is coming is scary, everything I read. That also goes to the grocery store. Anything that you buy, especially Christmas items, they're saying are just fixing to skyrocket. They're already limiting toilet paper to one package per person. And it's going to be other things. Joe spoke yesterday. Did y'all see that? To where they're going to start opening up the Port of Los Angeles 24/7. Not sure that's going to fix the problem that they have. So many American workers, I'm not even sure I can call them American workers, took the cash instead of working, and, well, they still don't want to work. And they think the government owes them money to sit at home. It's just shocking to watch everything that happens every day, to where a country that was so proud of what they built, what they done, has turned into people that no longer care and expect other people to pay for whatever they do. It shocks me. Every day I wake up and I read this stuff. It makes you sad. It truly does. I believe in the red, white, and blue, and I believe you do too as well if you watch my show and probably have pretty much the same beliefs of hard work and things like that. Really put you ahead and represents America. We pray for America. We absolutely do. Keep it in your prayers. And always, as I mentioned what happened there with the postal workers, this day and time, our city is no different than anywhere else. Crime is everywhere. No matter what you do, where you go, pay attention to your surroundings. If you're getting out of your car and there's a suspicious car sitting over there, 4 or 5 people in it, watch it. Don't get out. Wait. Things like that. It's not worth your life these days of people trying to take something for nothing. This is what I'm getting at. Don't be caught in some gang war or somebody's mad at somebody. Just pay attention to your surroundings. We'll get through it. And hopefully one day the police will be looked upon as good folks again, and funded again. They need the resources of where they were. I'm off my rant. Join me at 8 a.m. as Candace will be in this morning as we continue our coverage of what's happening in our area and across the nation. It all happens here in, an hour and 15 minutes. Join me again. I do appreciate it. Rayvon, thanks for watching there from Hurley, Mississippi. Betsy Holly joins us there. Glad you're with us as well. We'll see you at 8. Thanks so much again. 65 and fog in areas this morning, so watch all that. I'll see you soon here at Scotty Ray's Weather.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by